USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
Georgia today is reopening a number of businesses that have been closed because of the coronavirus outbreak, and many more states are now starting to at least make plans for how they'll be reopening, including Pennsylvania, Maryland, Missouri, Oregon, and Idaho. At yesterday's White House briefing on coronavirus, Vice President Mike Pence said,
Mr. President, with the guidelines to open up America again, states are making plans. And at your direction, our task force will continue to work very closely, providing them with the resources to be able to implement those plans in a safe and responsible way.
President Trump will sign a new coronavirus small business relief package today that was passed by the Senate earlier this week and by the House yesterday. It'll provide additional funds for a small business loan program that allows employers to keep workers on the payroll. And this is USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
Balance of Nature, no question. Your product's a great product. I mean, it's very, very good. I own a couple of businesses, so I'm on the go a lot. There's no doubt that the energy level increased. And again, your product is very, very good, and I couldn't live without it, to tell you the truth. I thank you for your time. Thank you for the information. And when you talk to Dr. Howard, give him my best and tell him he's got a great, great product.
Don't wait to see what getting over 10 servings of whole fruits and vegetables every day can do for you. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
Experts learning more and more about the coronavirus. With one theory, here's USA Radio's Robin Walensky.
Our most striking observation to date is the powerful effect that solar light appears to have on killing the virus, both surfaces and in the air.
Can sunlight kill the coronavirus? At the White House Daily Briefing, William Bryan with the Department of Homeland Security at the podium with charts and graphics. He says new research shows how increased levels of sunlight, ultraviolet rays, and even humidity can cause the coronavirus to die off.
We've seen a similar effect with both temperature and humidity as well, where increasing the temperature and humidity, or both, is generally less favorable to the virus.
A federal judge blocking a California gun law that requires people to undergo a background check before they can buy ammunition. The judge tossing the ammo regulations, calling them onerous and convoluted, and saying they violate a citizen's Second Amendment rights. This is USA Radio News.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is HIP Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the HIP Radio Network Weather Center. Bright sunshine today with a high of 94. Southwesterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 57 tonight. Clear skies, sunny skies, and calm again tomorrow. High of 81. Mid-80s Sunday, turning warmer on Monday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Frombley. Currently, it's 59 degrees.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
Rob Hip and Lee Ortiz. It's Friday, baby! All right, get ready. Everybody start running in place like this. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I'm doing this morning. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Georgetown right here on Georgetown's hometown radio station, HIP Radio Network, Georgetown. Hope everybody is off to a great day here. We'll let it play all the way through to that little ch there at the end, because how many know that you got to get a ch when you bring on the I was going to say when you bring on the ch of Georgetown. I was going to say the cheese of Georgetown, baby. I don't even know what that means, Lee. But Lee Ortiz here, our Friday co-host. What's going on, Lee? Oh, hold on, Lee. I think I got you muted. Hold on. Let me unmute you. There we go, man. What's up, Lee?
There we go. No, it's a good Friday morning. So we're getting all ready for a day. We've got some service calls lined up, and so trying to keep people cool because it is definitely getting warmer out there.
Well, Lee, we got a great program lined up today, and I'm excited to have a friend of ours coming on to the show, Tiffany Sturman with the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center. She will join us around the 8 a.m. hour. We're going to hear about the Advocacy Center and what they're doing right now. Just another wonderful organization that's been here in our community for a long time and helping out kids and really being a voice for children. And I'm excited to talk to Tiffany and hear more about them. And we already got shows lining up next week, Lee. We're moving the show back an hour. It's going to be, instead of from 7 to 9, it's going to bump from back an hour. I say bump. It's going to move back an hour from 6 to 8. So if you already enjoy the show, I've had more people tell me that they would prefer it to start a little bit earlier than start later. And so we're going to move it back an hour, and hopefully, we can gain a little bit more of an audience on that. But then also, it's going to give me an opportunity to get in the markets when that bell rings at 8:30 in the morning, man, because I'm dabbling in some of that now. And
yeah, we were just talking about that. I think I want to look into that with you. Yeah,
it's pretty cool stuff, man. But you can earn a lot, and then on the flip side, you can lose a lot. So that's just the way it goes, man. But I enjoy studying and learning, and all that kind of stuff is really nice. My dad's joining us this morning. Good morning, Dad. Love you. And hopefully we'll be able to see you in person soon, man. He's at a nursing facility up in Temple, Texas, man. And my sister went over there, and, of course, she could only see him through the glass. And so hopefully all this will be over with sooner than later, Lee.
I hope so, yeah, because we haven't even been able to see my mother-in-law. She's in a home, and it's been pretty challenging.
Joshua Harris joining us this morning of Oak Ridge Disciple House. Oak Ridge Disciple House, a sponsor of this station. It's a 501c3 Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there's help at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found at that end of the tunnel through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Visit them online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. That is oakridgedisciplehouse.com. And just like many organizations, Oak Ridge needs your help right now more than ever. Josh is on this program frequently, of course, on Tuesdays, and he does an outstanding job. And so please help out Oak Ridge if you can. Visit them online, oakridgedisciplehouse.com. And I forget, I was talking about Oak Ridge the other day, and, man, it was a phrase that I feel like the Lord just put on my heart, man, and it popped right out of my head. It came from my heart to my brain and out of my mouth. And I can't remember what it was, Josh. It was about transformation. And if you remember what I said, can you comment that? Because I wanted to remember, and now I can't remember it. I'm going to brain fog this morning.
Are you talking about transforming your heart, or, what was the?
We were talking.
That's usually what happens whenever you start walking in faith. There's a transformation that happens.
It was last Tuesday, and I had said something with James Chapman at the end of the show, and I said something about transformation because his show is called Transformation U. And, man, I just cannot remember the phrase that I said. Dude, something's wrong with my brain, man. Stuff will go in and out of my head like, I don't know, man, like Jell-O. It's just boom, it's there and it's out. And I want to remember that. Good thing was I archive every show, so I can go back and watch it out. But if you remember what that was, Josh, not to put you on the spot, but if you remember, I don't know if you were there when I said it, but it was a phrase that I'd said, and I really want to remember that. So I'll have to go back after the show today and watch it. Well, Lee, you said you've been busy, man. Jobs coming in. How are things going, man?
Yeah, we're getting a little bit busier. Started a couple of new projects, running some service calls. So things with the heat coming on. I don't know if you noticed, we've hit a few 90-degree days lately. So we're just trying to, as they say, stack them and rack them.
Stack them and rack them, baby. Hey, so you heard, I don't know if you heard the feed from USA Radio News when we first went on, but it ties into your industry extremely well.
Are you talking about the air conditioning spreading the COVID-19?
Yes. And did you hear on USA, you may have not heard the feed, on USA Radio News, the feed that right before we went on, it's our news center, talking about ultraviolet light and sunshine killing the virus.
Well, that's what we do. And it's not just, it's these I waves also, which are a step above these ultraviolet lights. It kills everything in the airstream.
This is right up your alley, Lee. NXSTTV.com. Had an article sent to me this morning. Appreciate John Montgomery over at Roberts Printing. NXSTTV.com. .com.
I'll tell you what, so everybody who's listening right now, there's the iWave. We were running a special for, I think it was $1,100. Anybody that calls into the show or anybody that says, I want one of those, I'll knock $200 off if they want one by the end of this weekend.
Wow. Say that again, Lee, so people can hear that. And we're going to talk more about that here in a minute, what it is.
Yeah, it's the iWave. It's it goes in your airstream and kills any type of bacteria or everything that's in the airstream will get cleaned out there. And so we started a special back about 3 weeks ago, and those are going for $11.99, and then the UV lights were $700 or $7.99. Anybody who calls in through the show who wants an iWave, I will knock off $200.
Man, that is awesome, Lee, and take Lee up on that, okay? Listen, here's why, and Lee's going to tell you more about that in just a minute, okay? But here's what I'm getting at this morning. Check this out. Good morning to John Montgomery, also over at Roberts Printing, one of our sponsors here. In fact, I'm going to go see John after the show today. We're working on a couple of pretty exciting projects. So this, again, from NXSTTV.com. That's NexstarMediaWire.com. Restaurants, I don't know why I'm doing that. Restaurants air conditioning tied to 9 COVID-19 cases among diners who sat near single infected person. This out of China. Researchers found that the air conditioning system at a restaurant in China likely helped pass COVID-19 from a single diner to 9 other people. The field study was performed by Chinese researchers and published on the website of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It may provide insight into how cities and states can safely open restaurants in the future, as well as the perils of doing so. The researchers added that their study did have limitations. For instance, they weren't able to simulate the airborne transmission route. The study involved 3 families, one of which, Family A, had just traveled from Wuhan to Guangzhou January the 23rd. On January the 24th, the infected member of Family A sat with 3 other family members around a table at the windowless Guangzhou Eatery. The 2 other families, B and C, sat at adjacent tables. An air conditioning unit was blowing air across the restaurant directly at all 3 families. By February the 5th, all 4 members of Family A, 3 members of Family B, and 2 members of Family C had COVID-19. The researchers found no other known source of exposure besides the trip to the restaurant. At least 1 person in families B and C caught the virus at the restaurant, but it's not known whether or not the other cases were from family transmission. Now, this study's author points out that 73 other diners who were at the restaurant that day did not get sick, but those sitting in the path of the AC unit's airflow did. They wrote here, to prevent spread of COVID-19 in restaurants, we recommend strengthening temperature monitoring surveillance, increasing the distance between tables, and, Lee, improving ventilation.
There you go.
So there you go. And that's right up. So, Lee, tell us about this product that you have. It ties in perfectly.
Yeah, it's the iWave. Actually, the CDC came out about 3.5 weeks ago. Today, that's one of the few products out there that actually kills the COVID-19 bacteria in the airstream. So it's kind of a neat little deal. You actually install it in the AC unit, so it takes a little bit of time to install. I've done some similar to these several years ago for a client who had really bad allergies. And ever since we did that, he never complains about his allergies inside of his house anymore. So the UV lights also help with that. There's another product, a little bit less expensive, but those have been on the market for a long time. There's different brands out there. The one I use tends to have a little bit better ratings. So there's so many products out there nowadays, especially with the filtration. You increase your air filters, going from a standard little 1-inch thick to a 4-inch. On top of this other products, I mean, you should be able to kill or capture everything at the unit where it doesn't get into your house.
And I know you have donated one of those items to our article that is, or our article, I was just reading an article, to our auction that we are going to be holding. That's coming up in May. We don't have an exact date yet, but we are going to put that up on 32 Auctions, and it's called 32 Auctions as a service that we are using. And so that is going to help benefit businesses. So look, call Lee, get one of these things. But if you miss out on the auction, especially if you miss out on the auction, call Lee, get one of these. It's going to help out not only your family, it's going to keep your air purified in your home, and then most importantly, it's going to help protect you. And I think that's the most critical thing, Lee. And I'm thankful that you have that product, man, and that John sent that article so we could talk about that this morning.
Yeah, actually, John got a hold of me. He's wanting to put some. I guess whenever the poker room opens back up, we'll be putting one in there.
Sweet, man. Well, hey, there has been some change. I know that Georgetown Shirt Company, they're going to open back up. They're not a sponsor here, but Craig and Sandy have supported my endeavors and SHN for a long time, and I don't mind giving them a shout-out because they do so much in the community. They are, and I want to bring this up because they do T-shirts. They're going to reopen Monday. There's been some new orders now that allow some businesses to open up on Monday. And that's the thing, Lee, they could have probably made the claim that they were an essential business, but they didn't want to put others at risk. There's so many businesses, and I understand, guys, look, you gotta generate income. But Craig and Sandy, they took a huge step back, and they adhered to those stay-at-home orders big time. And I know that it financially that hurts companies really badly.
Well, it's going to hurt any small business, Rob.
Yeah.
Anytime you have downtime where you're not being productive, it goes to the bottom line. So it's a big deal.
They probably could have made the case that, hey, we're not essential, or that we are essential, but they didn't, and they stayed closed, and now they're going to open back up on Monday. So, look, if you need shirts, and I've always supported Craig and Sandy, go by and see them, please.
They're at the Georgetown T-shirt?
Georgetown T-shirt company. They do all of Willie Nelson's printing.
Well, I'm going to have to get a hold of them because they do a lot of screen printing, right?
Yeah, go by and see them.
I really do, because I need some T-shirts for my business going into the summer. I have collared shirts that are embroidered with PKZ embroidery, Pixie.
Yeah, she does great on the embroidery, man.
Oh, my God. If anybody needs embroidery, they need to go see Pixie. She is awesome.
Pixie!
Yeah.
I just like to say things like that.
As far as screen printing, she doesn't do screen printing, and she's talked about Georgetown T-shirts, so I need to go talk to them about that.
Yeah, they would appreciate it. I finally got hopefully, I've been on the press release list with Williamson County. Really appreciate you talk about an organization that's popping out information when you need it. That's our county. Anytime I've needed information or graphics or anything that's related to they send me that information, almost instantaneously. And I wanted to give a shout out to those that are working for the county, especially the office staff. They have been there. They've been responsive. They're putting out information so that we here at HRN can keep the community informed, and I really appreciate that. I've been trying to get on the city of Georgetown's email list. I had contacted a few folks there, didn't hear anything back, and then I emailed the CVB last night, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I really, really appreciate Marcy. See, I never emailed Marcy. She responded and said that she was going to get me on that list, and I hope that I can get on that list because, look, we want to say what's going on here in Georgetown. We want to put that information out. I had no clue about this, Lee. I was blindsided, and I found it thanks to our friends over at Hello Georgetown, and I appreciate them, that the Red Poppy Fest is going virtual. It's going virtual. Really? And now we're still going to have Poptoberfest in October. They're still going to do that, the actual physical public event. But the 21st annual Red Poppy Festival that was supposed to take place this weekend, boy, it doesn't even seem like it, does it?
Man.
They're going virtual. It's been rescheduled, the actual physical festival, October 23rd through the 25th. The city is offering, though, in the interim, virtual festival for fans to celebrate from home. I think this is great. Wish I would have known about it. And thank goodness for Hello Georgetown. The online festival will include music from Dysfunction Junction, a video replay of the 2019 Red Poppy Parade, and a presentation of the history of red poppies in Georgetown by the day tripper star Chet Garner. Chet does awesome for our community. Special T-shirts commemorating the 2020 Red Poppy Festival Virtual Edition will be available for purchase. This is really cool. All proceeds will benefit. I got to get that country in the morning, Lee. All proceeds will benefit. All proceeds will benefit the Caring Place. City of Georgetown, and I'm not going to read that form. You know what? I'm going to put the form. That's the only thing. You got to learn how to use tiny URL. That's too long. People aren't going to know what that is. There's a huge long URL they put there. I can't read that out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it there on our Facebook live stream, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to make this easy real quick. There's a service called Tiny URL, and I'm going to put Caring Place shirts. How about that? So here, I made it really easy for you. That's all you had to do. Take 5 seconds. tinyurl.com/Caring Place shirts instead of this huge long URL with a bunch of random letters. tinyurl.com/Caring Place shirts. Go there. Let me make sure that works before I started giving it out. Caring Place shirts. Oh, great. And the form that was, never mind. That doesn't work. And I think the link that I just sent you doesn't work.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my goodness. What a nightmare. Ignore what I just told you, please. Ignore what I just told you because I don't know why. The tinyurl.com/Caring Place shirts doesn't work. That's because it took a period at the end of it. Here's what we're going to do. Check this out, Lee. tinyurl.com/ let's see if this works. Okay, made it easier. Let me try it first. tinyurl.com/ Caring shirts. There we go. Caring shirts.
Okay.
tinyurl.com/ Caring shirts. That'll help support the Caring Place and the City of Georgetown's initiative here with the virtual Poppy Festival. I think that is incredible. Those of you that work for the city and that came up with this idea, thank you so much for doing this. The schedule of events, the virtual concert by Dysfunction Junction starting tonight at 7 o'clock, Lee. It's on Facebook. It's going to be streamed on Facebook. I'm assuming through the City of Georgetown. Let me click on this and see where it goes. I don't even know who's hosting this. Okay, it's okay, here. Sorry about all this, guys. Look, I'm just trying to get all this together. It is hosted by Visit. So go on Facebook, Visit Georgetown, Texas. It's Visit Georgetown TX. Follow that page, and then you can be part of the virtual Poppy Fest. And tonight, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a watch party on my personal Facebook and on the HRN. Now, we're having our virtual dance party tonight from 7 to 9. So you make sure to join. I look
forward to watching those. Michael Price is a nut.
Yeah, you make sure to join our virtual dance party tonight from 7 to 9, and then kick it over. You can always go back and watch the virtual stream there the city's putting there on. Because we have so much fun with the virtual dance party. We usually have about 100 folks that watch us on that or listen on that. And so do both. Have fun tonight. It's a family night. Have a lot of fun tonight. So I'm here this morning. Lee Ortiz of Climate Control Pros. Appreciate you joining us here for Good Morning Georgetown, where we try to bring you news and information. And, okay, I just got an email here. Someone had said they didn't receive a link. We got that out to you. So, yep, we've got the link over to you. And so, just things, Lee, this whole, I don't know, man, what are we, like 42 days now of this? And I'm out of sync, man.
I think the whole world is out of sync right now. It's not just you. So it's definitely a challenge.
I'm so out of sync. I don't even know what's going on, man. And the days are a blur. And I get up, I do radio, which I love. Dude, I'm so thankful to do this every morning, Lee. I'm thankful to have friends like you and so many others that are a part of this program and our awesome audience.
Man, I would have never thought in a million years I would get the opportunity to get on the radio with somebody. I mean, I enjoy this every Friday morning.
I enjoy just catching up with. It's just like a casual conversation.
Yeah.
That ought to be a new radio show, Casual Conversations.
Well, it's going to be fun when we can actually get all back together and actually be in the studio and make it a little bit more live than virtual reality sometimes.
Virtual. Marcy sent good morning to you, Marcy. Thank you so much. Yeah, Marcy's joining us. Marcy does great work with the CVB. Thank you so much, Marcy, for that email this morning. I I was trying to get on a press release list, like I'd saying earlier, for those that are just joining with the city, and I think I didn't know what to do, and so I emailed CVB. Marcy got back to me, on the spot, and was like, let me forward this, and boom, 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 and here we go. And so I want to make sure that we promote what the city's doing, and that's why we want to be on that list, because we promote the county all day because I get so much information. I'm getting like 3, 4, 5 emails. Connie over there is just boom, 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 zipping me everything.
Wow.
So I kind of got to dissect it now. And then Ann Partain over at Hello Georgetown, they do a great job sending us information as well, man. So, but thank you, Marcy. I really appreciate you, and we love what you guys do. Y'all do such tremendous work, and I'm excited about this tonight. And like I said, I'm gonna do a once they go live, you can do a watch party, and that just helps build more audience, because then all of a sudden, and in fact, if you're on Facebook this morning watching Lee and I, or if you're listening on the app, it won't work, but if you're on Facebook, you can do a start watch party. You can share this as a watch party, and basically what it does is it draws in more viewers and more of an audience, but it's like it's your little group of an audience watching this together. You know what I'm saying, Lee? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So that's why I changed everything. We were normally doing this show, I would stream it live from my personal Facebook, and then I would share it to HRN. I would share it to Good Morning Georgetown. Well, I kind of flipped the script. I do it live from the HRN page now, since it's grown a lot, and then I do a watch party on my personal Facebook. So if you're on this, you can share this you can start a watch party, and then what's really cool is it'll draw in like your own little audience. The only downfall to that is I won't be able to see comments that are in your watch party. So we may say stuff on here like, hey, leave a comment. We won't see it. So if you're on the watch party, there is an area that says live video comments. And if you tap on that, you can comment there, and we will get them on our actual feed. So that's just kind of the way that works. Just to let you know. And if you could ever do that, if you love this show, and I appreciate those that join us, we have been blessed. I think yesterday we had Jeff Mangum of Tornado Trackers on. That was interesting, and I think it drew in about 800 or 900 folks on the stream overall, which was awesome, man.
Oh, wow.
So I appreciate that, and thank you for all that you guys do here in Georgetown, Texas. 7:59, and I'm feeling fine this morning, Lee. It is a great morning. I got up. It was dark, of course, when I got up, and now that the sun is coming out, I like to leave the door to the studio open, because at my remote studio here next to the house, Lee, the guy behind me, I think he has about 14 acres. Now, we're on a cul-de-sac here in Santa Loma, which is part of Serenata, the older part of Serenata, Lee. But as I look out the back, the guy behind me has 14 acres. I'm on like this weird trapezoid lot. When you're on a cul-de-sac, you're on a weird lot. It's like a trapezoid.
Yeah, I know. That's the way my lot is. I'm in a cul-de-sac also. So I've got this kind of huge kind of pie shape for my property. So I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's set up, and I just love in the mornings, and I love our commercial studio up at the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. They're just 10 miles to the north of us in Gerald, because it's right off 35. It's extremely convenient. It's also convenient because it's next to Daylight Donuts, and that's very tempting, but I'm trying to keep it healthy as much as possible, Lee.
Yeah. Hey, so I've got somebody pretty special here who wants to come on for a little bit, if you're all right with that.
Yeah, please. I know you told me earlier. Please.
Yeah, all right. Let's move some things around here. He's going to come sit in.
Is he going to say anything to us?
I would hope so.
All right, Lee, we'll introduce him, man. Talk to us, Lee.
So this is Jacob. As everybody knows, Jacob was in a really bad car accident about 2 weeks ago. He's just finally was able to get out of his neck brace, which that made him happy. So so now he gets to just walk around and kind of recovering even more, getting stronger. He's back in his own bed. So how does that make you feel?
Yeah, very, very much better.
So he's definitely needing a haircut like everybody else.
Jacob, will you let your dad give you a haircut or not?
I don't know. Maybe.
Now you go to
we talked about it.
You go to Texas A&M, right?
Yes, sir. I'm actually wearing my A&M shirt.
There you gig 'em, baby. Tell us a little bit about Aggie Land, man. I'm a big Baylor fan, number 1, and then Aggie's number 2. UT about number 30.
Yeah. Well, so I first moved down there last fall, and I love it. It's a good little town, and the university is just beautiful. I love it. I love all the buildings and everything.
History.
Yeah, all the classes and everything. It's definitely much different than I was used to with going from a smaller class to a class of 300. But I definitely love it.
What are you studying down there, man, at A&M?
Wildlife and fisheries.
I love that. Are you want to be a game warden, maybe?
Possibly. Something with the wildlife.
Awesome.
So.
Well, you talked about events there or different things in College Station. Have you been to the Presidential Library?
I have not gotten a chance to go yet.
Got to get.
But I've been wanting to.
Got to get over there to that, man. Now, Jake, did you go to Georgetown?
No.
Did not
Georgetown?
go. Yeah, you didn't.
Like for school?
Yeah, for high school.
Oh no, I didn't go to Georgetown for high school.
Okay. Well, awesome, man. Now I know that you were in a pretty rough vehicle accident, man. How are you getting along now? I know that was something you had to go through, buddy, and I know that was tough, man. How are you doing and how are you feeling, man?
I'm doing much better now. I still have to take it easy. Like if I'm just sitting around like this, I can be free and everything. But if I go out or something, I have to wear like one of those soft cervical collars. But for the most part, I can pretty much get around without having to wear anything. But for the past 2 months, I've been having to wear a full brace that came down from like my waist all the way up to the top of my neck, even the back of my head.
Man,
so,
well, I'm glad you're doing better, buddy. I'm so thankful. We've been praying for you, buddy, and I'm glad that you finally got that thing off. So now you can go. Don't get on a trampoline, man. I've been jumping on a trampoline here lately, and I'm when you're 35 and you haven't jumped on a trampoline in like 20 years, that's not advisable. And of course, you don't be jumping on no trampolines, man.
No, I won't.
Hey, I wanted to ask you one more question because, this whole COVID-19 has got everything messed up with everybody in school and just everybody's kind of like, where do we go? What do we do? And I don't want to say like messed up in a bad way, but I mean, it's just, everything is not normal. Let's put it that way. Things for me have been messed up. They haven't been normal. For you, it's your first year at A&M, right? Your first year?
Yes, sir.
What has it been like for you? I know you had the accident, man. So that, in a way that kind of course, put you down for a while because of that. But what has this whole COVID-19 been for you as a college student?
Well, I guess I personally just from my perspective, I haven't, I guess, really felt the effects of it too much because of the accident. Because I had to withdraw from the university before the whole quarantine thing even started. So, for me, it's just kind of been, I had to be out of school anyways. So I haven't felt the full effects of it, but I guess thinking forward to the fall and not knowing, I guess, if it's still going to be around if I have to start online class.
A&M hasn't announced what they're going to do yet.
Well, no, because it's still kind of far out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still got a couple months.
Well, Jay, we're going to keep you in our prayers, buddy. I'm glad that you were able to come on the show. Your dad said, hey, I'm going to bring my son. I said, you bring him on, man. Come on. And so I'm glad that you're here with us today, and we're going to keep praying for you for a 150% full recovery. You're going to come out of this like, what was that show, The Rookie, where it was like a young boy, he messed up his elbow or his and then all of a sudden he was like in the majors pitching.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, Jake, good to see you, man. Keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing, and we will have you back on sometime. All right, buddy?
All
right, man. Well, Lee, we're going to step aside as it's 8 a.m. Appreciate speaking with Jay. I'm glad that he is doing better. Thank you for bringing him on. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, it's our guest at the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center. We'll be right back after the top of the hour. You're listening to Good Morning Georgetown. It's KHGTDB, Georgetown's hometown radio station. We'll be right back here in just a few moments.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
Georgia today is reopening a number of businesses that have been closed because of the coronavirus outbreak, and many more states are now starting to at least make plans for how they'll be reopening, including Pennsylvania, Maryland, Missouri, Oregon, and Idaho. At yesterday's White House briefing on coronavirus, Vice President Mike Pence said,
Mr. President, with the guidelines to open up America again, states are making plans. And at your direction, our task force will continue to work very closely, providing them with the resources to be able to implement those plans in a safe and responsible way.
President Trump will sign a new coronavirus small business relief package today that was passed by the Senate earlier this week and by the House yesterday. It'll provide additional funds for a small business loan program that allows employers to keep workers on the payroll. And this is USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
Balance of Nature, no question. Your product's a great product. I mean, it's very, very good. I own a couple of businesses, so I'm on the go a lot. There's no doubt that the energy level increased. And again, your product is very, very good, and I couldn't live without it, to tell you the truth. I thank you for your time. Thank you for the information. And when you talk to Dr. Howard, give him my best and tell him he's got a great, great product.
Don't wait to see what getting over 10 servings of whole fruits and vegetables every day can do for you. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
Experts learning more and more about the coronavirus. With one theory, here's USA Radio's Robin Walensky.
Our most striking observation to date is the powerful effect that solar light appears to have on killing the virus, both surfaces and in the air.
Can sunlight kill the coronavirus? At the White House Daily Briefing, William Bryan with the Department of Homeland Security at the podium with charts and graphics. He says new research shows how increased levels of sunlight, ultraviolet rays, and even humidity can cause the coronavirus to die off.
We've seen a similar effect with both temperature and humidity as well, where increasing the temperature and humidity, or both, is generally less favorable to the virus.
A federal judge blocking a California gun law that requires people to undergo a background check before they can buy ammunition. The judge tossing the ammo regulations, calling them onerous and convoluted, and saying they violate a citizen's Second Amendment rights. This is USA Radio News.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is HIP Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
Hey, good morning, friends. Time now, 8:11 a.m. here in the greatest city on planet Earth. Thanks for joining us for Good Morning Georgetown right here on HIP Radio Network, Georgetown, KHTTDB. It's Georgetown's hometown radio station. Thanks for being a part of this program every morning, Monday through Friday. And for our guest, very lucky because starting next week, we're going to scale this show back an hour. And so instead of guests coming on at 8 a.m., they're going to have to come on at 7 a.m. as we're scaling things back an hour. But I want to welcome in this morning and very excited as we really enjoy, especially talking to nonprofits here in our community and the wonderful things that they do, as we have Tiffany Sturman this morning, the Director of Community Engagements, as she will talk to us about her work and with the Children's Advocacy Center here in Williamson County and what they're seeing during COVID-19 and how you can get involved. Tiffany, I've got you on video. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, Rob, and I'm glad I got in just under the gun here. It's hard waking up early now that we're all working from home.
Yeah, Lee and I were talking. Lee Ortiz of Climate Control Pros. We have a co-host every weekday as well, a different co-host that joins me, and Lee is our Friday co-host, and we were we were talking about how just everything is kind of just mushed together right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, yeah.
it's been pretty crazy. Well, hey, before we get started in talking about the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center, Tiffany, I always enjoy just kind of getting to know our guests a little bit. So just talk to us about your journey here to Georgetown and just a little bit about you before we get started.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Rob. And just, with Lee's son, I got to say giggle Maggies, because I'm a proud class of '02. So it's great to see a former RS. And so my husband, my kids and I, we've only been here in Georgetown for about 2 years, stuck a pin in the map. We knew we wanted to come back to Texas. We were living abroad for about 12 years in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he's from Fort Worth. I'm from Southeast Houston. So we said, okay, we think we want to go somewhere in the middle, stuck a pin in the map in Georgetown and said, I think this place kind of looks good. So came back, toured around, and just fell in love. No questions asked, said, this is where we need to be.
Awesome. Well, it's a privilege. I was born and raised here, and I always let folks know how much, especially someone, that's being here. I've been here my whole life, and I always want folks to know how incredible it is to be in a community and grow up in a community that people want to move to. Because sometimes there's like this stigma of, oh, Georgetown doesn't need to grow and this and that. And I get it, but I'm from here, and I'm going to say I love people moving here. I love, because it's bringing so much opportunity. It's bringing so much goodwill to our community. And I love hearing the stories of how people get here. And so that is incredible. And just, even though you've been here for 2 years, I wanted to give you an official HRN Georgetown. Good morning, Georgetown. Welcome to Georgetown 2 years later.
Well, thank you. Hey, every welcome is always appreciated.
Well, and we appreciate the work that you guys do at the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center. Talk to us just about how you got involved and how you connected with the WCCAC.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my background is in public health, and this is an area, even whenever I was abroad, right, you want to make sure that you give back. I've worked in the nonprofit sector my whole life, so it was natural to, when we moved back to Texas and moved into Williamson County, to figure out what is my impact going to be? What is that going to look like? And I got a great start here with United Way of Williamson County. And that was a great way to get to know the full scope of needs around, excuse me, it's early. My voice still isn't warmed up, pardon me. But to know the full scope of needs, but knowing that my passion has always been with children, with child abuse, and especially in the prevention angle. And so as I got to learn about different ways and other opportunities to give back, I did not know about the Advocacy Center. Even growing up in Texas, I did not know about the model of a Children's Advocacy Center. And so thankfully, I had the opportunity to help structure and create our community engagement department, which is really the mouthpiece and the public facing side of the work that we do. So it was just, I fell in love with the model. I saw what that does when all of the services are brought in as a holistic feature, and said, sign me up. How do I get involved?
Well, I think the work, and I first heard, I've seen the building, the new building that was put up years ago there off of Interloop, and just a very beautiful building that you guys have the wonderful privilege to work out of. And what you do at the Wilco CAC, I think I said the WCCAC, the Wilco CAC is how I think it's officially abbreviated, right?
It's a long name for a nonprofit, and we understand that. So either way, Wilco CAC or WCCAC, everything works.
Well, I know part of the mission of what you guys do, it's threefold: providing a safe place to disclose child abuse. I think that is so important because there's so many kids that are affected by such a serious subject matter. Secondly, reducing the emotional trauma for children and non-offending family members. And then third, extending professional services that protect the integrity of an investigation. Now, I first heard really in detail, because I've always seen the big yellow house there off of Interloop. But I first heard more about what you guys do and just the impact that you have with children, specifically, of course, through Rotary Club, because I'm a Rotarian, and someone had came in and presented a Rotary program several years ago. Can you talk a little bit more in depth about what you guys specifically do at the Advocacy Center helping out children?
Yes, absolutely. And we always want to get the community involved in our work. So just as a broad scope and invitation to your listeners right now, and once this all passes and we can allow people and the general public back into the building, we love giving tours, because it's one thing for me to sit here and be able to talk about the scope of our services, which is a lot. But it's another thing when you get to walk through our hallways and have a visual and an understanding of how everything is put together in the building. So I extend that invitation to you, Lee, and all of your listeners. So in the future to be able to come through for a tour. But we are a full functioning nonprofit. However, part of what we do, it's a bit of a public-private partnership. So if somebody suspects a child of being abused, they do not walk up to our doors, ring the bell, and say, we would love a forensic interview, right? We're going to direct them to our law enforcement or CPS partners who are the investigators into that. And once the report is made, that's where then we bring the child in. And I love that you referenced the house, because everything is very intentional about the model, even down to the structure of the building, making sure that our children and their family members, and like you said in our mission, non-offending. So the alleged perpetrator is never allowed in our facility. So the child and their family feels that they are coming into a safe place to talk about that experience of abuse. So they come in, they work with our staff who are highly trained forensic interviewers. And then the investigators, law enforcement and CPS, they watch from another room, in an observation room. So that way the child is working with our forensic interviewer who has training in child development, age appropriate language to be able to help them walk through that experience of abuse. Down the hallway is our medical nurses, our forensic medical nurses. And we are really blessed here in Williamson County. Not all CACs are able to have medical on site. So this is another way we eliminate barriers, we increase access. The child just has to walk right down the hallway, see our forensic nurses for a medical exam, whether that is a physical abuse exam, a sexual abuse exam, or just even what we call a well child check or a safe exam. And that way, if one child has disclosed or abuse or their suspicion, but maybe there's a younger sibling who isn't able to vocalize what that looks like, our nurses are able to check out their bodies and provide some reassurance to those family members that that younger sibling is okay, or conversely be able to treat them if we spot something suspicious. And then, of course, our trauma-based counseling. Our counselors are all in there. We have child and family and parent counseling. And again, all of these services, just like the medical, it's not just for the child who's in there for the interview, who has that abuse suspicion and being able to share that experience. All of our services are provided to their siblings and to those caregivers, because we know that the healing from abuse takes the whole family. So we provide all of our services to all those immediate family members. Everything we do is free of charge.
Wow. Well, as we're talking to Tiffany this morning, Tiffany Sturman with the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center here on Good Morning Georgetown. Appreciate her and her time of being on the show this morning. Tiffany, if there's a family out there, and I wanted to also let everybody know that we have a lot of folks joining us on Facebook this morning, but we also have quite a few folks that are joining us on the HRN official app that are listening this morning that may not be able to see video. I just wanted to encourage you, if you got a question for Tiffany, please let us know on Facebook. Some of you may be on a watch party, and if you are, make sure that you tap on live video comments, because we won't see the watch party comments. So tap on live video comments and ask your question there. If you're on the Hip Radio Network page, you can, of course, ask it there. And if you're listening on the app, you can always text us at 512-686-2030. That's 512-686-2030. Again, as we talked to Tiffany Sturman this morning of the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center. You know, Tiffany, of course, this is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month here in April. I wanted to ask a little bit more specifically about the Advocacy Center. If there is someone that suspects child abuse, because it is unfortunate, it's a tragedy that it happens, and it does happen, and that's why you guys exist, to try to help and guide through that process. If there's someone who suspects that, is you guys are the organization, that people can reach out to. Can you talk a little bit more about that process? And if somebody suspects anything like that, what can they do and how can you help?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially right now, just a little bit about that. We have such high and immediate and urgent concern for our children during these stay-at-home orders. Teachers, believe it or not, I don't know, a little fact here, teachers actually are our number one reporters of abuse. They make up roughly 20% of reports into CPS and law enforcement because they are seeing our children every day. They understand their behaviors and can see when those behaviors are changing, or reading the writings for their journaling, right? Something that's arising suspicion. So with our children at home, then we have a high concern that those teachers aren't seeing those kids, that our number one reporters aren't seeing those kids. And so it's important for the community to understand that, one, by law in the state of Texas, every adult over the age of 18 is a mandated reporter. If we suspect something, we need to say something. We need to call in that report. And it's not for us as the general public to be the investigators, to feel that we have to have proof. That's for our investigators. That's for CPS, or that's for law enforcement to investigate that. Our job and our duty to keep children safe is to make that report. So if you have a suspicion, you can call the 800 number, which is 1-800-252-5400. That's the abuse reporting hotline. Or if you look up DFPS online, there is an availability to make a report online. But depending on the urgency of that concern, we would always encourage a phone call. And if you feel a child is in immediate danger, then law enforcement is always the one. Your city, or if you're in an ETJ, to call the sheriff's office, is to make that report to them and let them decide how to move that forward.
So I'm glad you just mentioned that, because that was already a question that came through on a text message. I'm not sure who sent that, but they said, should we call the Advocacy Center first, or should we call law enforcement first? And that was a good question. So definitely call law enforcement first is what you're saying. And then, so does that, if the law enforcement, did they send referrals to you guys? Does that happen?
So our referrals come from both law enforcement and CPS. So depending on the nature of the crime is whether CPS and law enforcement are both going to be involved, or whether it's going to be one or the other. But we generally always, for those observation of forensic interviews, have both CPS and law enforcement. So they are talking to each other on the back end. So we kind of say you can always hedge your bets. You can make a CPS report and you can call law enforcement, but they are communicating with each other. And we, as the Advocacy Center, about 3 years ago, the law changed and allowed us to be able to see what we call statewide intake. So those reports on that abuse hotline that become written up, we're able to see what's those reports coming into Williamson County. So we have dedicated staff, and that's their sole job, is to read those reports. And it allows us, if we haven't received a phone call from CPS or law enforcement looking for that forensic interview, it allows us to be proactive and to call them as well. But again, that's all the statewide intake. That's the CPS reporting.
Okay, perfect. And just to be clear,
I've got a question.
Yeah,
so
go
nationwide, we've seen an uptick in domestic violence just based on this lockdown. Have you guys seen an increase in y'all's volume coming through because of this?
That is a really great question. So what you see is that child abuse is really the one crime where the victim, the child, is not able to call and make a report, right? Someone breaks into our car, we call law enforcement. If we're in a domestic violence household and we have the ability, right, when the offender is not around, if they are able, they still have the capacity to be able to reach out. If someone's breaking into your home, you're calling for help. A child cannot call law enforcement. A child is not being the one to call out and say, hey, a crime is happening to me, right? Children rely on us as protective adults to be able to make that call for them. So while domestic violence, those calls are definitely increasing, what we do know is that a child who witnesses domestic violence in their household also suffers the same trauma in their development as child abuse. So witnessing domestic violence is considered child abuse. So we right now haven't been receiving a lot of calls about domestic violence. We get the back end of if a child has witnessed in that household. Now, overall, those statewide intakes, those reports of child abuse are down statewide in the state of Texas, roughly 35 to 40%. And that is really concerning because people are not making reports of that suspected abuse. And when we look at our numbers in Williamson County, what we've seen, the children we've seen over the last month, right, from about March 18th to April 18th, the children we've seen for forensic interviews, because our building is still open, right? We are still operating with minimal staff, but still being able to conduct interviews and medical exams and counseling, is that 50% of the children we've seen have experienced abuse by a parent. 20% of children have experienced abuse from a adult family member, like a grandparent or an aunt or uncle. And so that's where I go back to that really urgent concern of children in our community right now, staying at home with those family members who are abusing them.
We're talking again this morning to Tiffany with the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center, and of course appreciate your time this morning. I was going to ask you how many folks call maybe, and I know you can't give out personal information, of course, and we would never ask that, but as far as folks that may call you directly instead of going to the sheriff's office, do you have that, and does that happen frequently?
It does. It does. We do get calls, and so then we will help direct them, whether it's to be able to call Round Rock Police Department, the Sheriff's Office, Cedar Park, whichever law enforcement, we will redirect them, or we'll be able to transfer them to the 800 number for the abuse hotline. So we do quite often get calls because, of course, when people are Googling or looking up as the general public that says, I'm concerned, something's happening, I don't know who to call. And so they're looking it up. Of course, our name pops up, and we always assist those community members on how to make a report, and then always let them know they can advocate for their child to have that forensic interview with us at the Advocacy Center.
Of course, confidentiality and just taking things very serious is what you guys do. And I know that there's folks who volunteer and help out, but there's a vetting process for everything. Can you talk about how people get involved and at what capacity they can serve? Because we're dealing with children, of course, and I know that you guys do everything you can to protect these kids and make them feel safe and their families.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We love our volunteers, and this is Volunteer Appreciation Week. And us, like so many other nonprofits and organizations that rely on a volunteer workforce, are desperately missing loving on our volunteers and being so thankful. So a special shout out to our CAC volunteers. We love them and miss them and can't wait to welcome them back on campus. And there's a variety of ways to get involved with us as a volunteer. Of course, you have to pass a background check, right? First and foremost, making sure that you do not have, especially a criminal history around children or violation. We understand people when they're younger may have had a driving under the influence, right? Like different things will show up, and we take that into consideration. We're really looking for concerns in harming other people and especially children. So you have to pass a background check. And then we have, going through our orientation and our tour, making sure that we are a good fit for you. We know we deal with a tough subject, an uncomfortable subject, and one that's really stigmatized across communities. And so we just know that everybody has a role to play, whether it's volunteering with us or learning more about us and then becoming an advocate for children in their community and just being able to bring that up at a dinner party. But other than that, once you go through that training and of course shadowing, then you're really able to help us out with the families when they're waiting for forensic interviews, with our front desk staff. And even part of my team is community education, going out to provide prevention education. And so you're able to accompany us out to schools to be able to help teach children body safety, internet safety, and our other prevention programs. So there's something that suits everyone.
Well, I think, again, I'd first really heard more in depth as we continue to talk Tiffany this morning here, Tiffany Sturman with the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center. Just really the program that was delivered at Rotary and just really opened up my eyes, because it's one of those areas that you just don't really think a lot about unless it's affecting you or someone that you have known. But the reality is child abuse is a very serious situation. It's something that unfortunately does happen, and it's something that you brought up to me that I haven't heard before, that if you're 18 or older, that you are legally obligated to report things, if you've seen something or hear of something. I think that is a very important message. And if someone may be nervous and they may be scared, like, I don't know what to do, I don't know who to call, they can call you guys and you guys can direct them in the right direction to figure out how to report that. And I think that is really tremendous. You mentioned going through the COVID-19, and that was something that I had heard and reading online was about domestic violence and those things, because so many families are together now and they have to be forced to be together. And there's some families that, let's be honest, they don't need to be together. And that's where you guys can step in and help out. So, Tiffany, appreciate you. Talk a little bit more just how folks can get involved, how they can get in touch with you, and kind of the next steps, and walk us through that if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned right at the beginning of the show, April is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. And so really all of our events have shifted from in-person events to online. And so definitely join us on our Facebook page. It's Wilco CAC is the / from Facebook. And be able to learn. We've been posting great regulation and calming opportunities for families to be able to cope with being home together, family activities, learning opportunities, so that parents and caregivers become more comfortable talking to their child about body safety and what that means to them, coming up with safe words, right? Different things like that. So we've been pushing out educational material, interactions. We've got a great Facebook campaign coming on today that says, I stand up for children, and then you write your why. And so we want to flood the internet about why people stand up for children. So definitely visit our Facebook page with everything that's going on to learn more about us. You can find my email to find out about more opportunities. We're going to be participating in May 5th. I don't know if you've heard it. Instead of Giving Tuesday, which happens the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, there's a Giving Tuesday now that's going to be happening May 5th. So we'll be participating in that. And then for faith communities, this Sunday, the last Sunday of April, is Blue Sunday. So blue is the color of child abuse, or to represent child abuse, which hopefully you've seen some ribbons and pinwheels from around Wolf Ranch and Liberty Hill Police Department, Georgetown Police Department, and of course our facility. So blue is the color that represents child abuse. So Blue Sunday is an opportunity for all faith organizations to pray for children who are in unsafe situations, to pray for them for hope, for healing, to pray for those that protect children, such as our law enforcement partners who are on the front lines. And as the tagline for Blue Sunday says, so that black and blue were just colors in the crayon box. So we encourage all of those on Sunday to be able to pray, and we'll have a posting on some other ways to get involved with Blue Sunday, again, on our Facebook page.
Well, Tiffany, again, I appreciate you. Lee's got a question. Hold on one second, Lee. Let me pop. I was going to bring Lee on here. Give me 1 second, Lee. Let me pop the video here. And Lee's got a question for you, Tiffany. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah. So out in Bastrop, I think it's still considered Travis County. There was a facility that was built a couple years ago for children and minors that were caught through sex trafficking. Have you guys had to deal with some of those issues in Williamson County, and do they come through your facility?
Sure. So you're talking about the refuge.
Yes.
Bastrop. And so I'm glad you brought that up. So that's a big initiative from the governor's office, right? Is looking more on what we need to do for those children who have been involved in sex trafficking. And at the heart of it, sex trafficking is child sexual abuse. So we definitely do see those. It is here in Williamson County. Again, one of those, people don't like to talk about child abuse. They really don't like to talk about a child being sex trafficked. And so a really tough conversation. There's a great organization, the Key to Free, that has a housing facility here in Williamson County. And we partner with them very often on education and presentations. But we will see those children for those forensic interviews and medical exams, because while they are being trafficked, at the heart of it, that is child sexual abuse. And so to be able to receive services from us as well.
Awesome. Lee, did you have any other final questions? Anything for Tiffany?
No, just, I would love to help out and volunteer. I'm more on the mechanical side, so if you need any AC, I'll be happy to donate my time. But yeah, I think it's something good like this is really needed in the communities.
Awesome. Well, Tiffany, before we let you go, I appreciate the work that you do, and you guys just do tremendous work in putting our kids first and giving them a safe place, a safe place that if there is something going on, and there are things that go on, you guys are helping to guide through that process and try to bring some sense of calm back. And I know that that's extremely difficult, and I know that you're extremely sensitive to the things that you deal with, and I just can't imagine, and I appreciate from me and everyone that's associated with what we do, I appreciate what you do and what your organization does. One final time, Tiffany, just how can folks get connected? Where can they go online? And any final thoughts before we let you go this morning?
Sure, absolutely. I do want to just reemphasize, like you said, it's a safe place, that there is healing from abuse, right? We hear a lot about the cycle of abuse, but that is something that absolutely can be broken. There is the ability to heal from abuse. It takes work, it takes counseling, it takes a lot of effort. But we get to celebrate that, and we get to see children and families heal every day. But that healing does not get to happen until an intervention takes place. And that intervention is a phone call to make a report of suspected child abuse. Without us as trusted adults making that phone call, children do not have the opportunity to report that crime themselves. Only 1 in 10 children do disclose. The rest is up to us protected adults. So don't be afraid to make that phone call. Our website, www.wilcocac.org. You can learn more about us, about the services we provide. From there's an events tab or a get involved tab. You'll be able to connect with my team about volunteering, about different events we have. We had to cancel, of course, so many events in April. We're hoping they can take place in September. So all of that information will be there. My email is Tiffany S, as in Sam, at wilcocac.org. Give me a shout. If you call the Advocacy Center 943-3701 and want to reach any of us, the front desk is able to help you in guiding you to make a report, or they'll be able to transfer you to me. I've got my cell phone. All my calls are forwarded to my cell phone right now. So if you are looking for ways to get involved, we are still open. We are still serving. And so we just appreciate any and all support that the community can give us.
Yeah, you bet, Tiffany. We're here for you, and just let your media folks know, and that may be you, I guess, is community outreach, right?
Yeah.
Put me on. I'll send you an email, but it's news@hrngeorgetown.org. I start talking country sometime. .org. It's news@hrngeorgetown.org. If you could put us on any type of press release information, and on our website at hrngeorgetown.com. I just said .org. I'm wrong. It's news@hrngeorgetown.com. I don't know where my brain is today. But yeah, add that to your press list if you don't mind. News@hrngeorgetown.com. And anytime that we get information from organizations in the community, we like to publish that on our website because we're getting a lot of traffic now. We're blessed with that on our website. And so we want to make sure that we're promoting your events, that we're promoting what you're doing in the community, and we appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Rob. I will definitely add you to that list. And again, thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity to help shine a light on an uncomfortable subject this morning.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being here and continue the great work, and we'll be behind you. Once again, Tiffany from the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center. Have a great day, Tiffany. We'll check in with you guys later.
Have a great day. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Well, friends, again, check them out. We've put their link there at wilcocac.org. It's wilcocac.org. You can also like their Facebook page. Make sure that you do that. Just search for Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center. A very serious subject this morning. I know that we have a lot of fun on this show, and we chat a lot, and we have a good time, but there are a lot of serious things that we definitely want to make sure that we also approach in this community and let folks know that there's opportunities that you can get involved and help these organizations that have to deal with some pretty tragic stuff, Lee. And I'm glad that we had that opportunity to have Tiffany on this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I've always felt like there's a real special place in hell for people that hurt children.
Yeah, it's a very tough thing, and you know, and then the other way, there's a very special heart for the people that do help, and it's just incredible. So we're going to step aside. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we've got about 17 more minutes. We'll be right back. This is Hip Radio Network, Georgetown. Good morning, Georgetown. We'll be right back here in just a few moments.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. Bright sunshine today with a high of 94. Southwesterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 57 tonight. Clear skies, sunny skies, and calm again tomorrow. High of 81. Mid-80s Sunday, turning warmer on Monday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 59 degrees.
Welcome back, Georgetown, here on Good Morning Georgetown. Time now 8:44 a.m. As we had an opportunity there to hear from Tiffany, the Williamson County Children's Advocacy Center, and appreciate her being on this morning, and just an opportunity for the community to know how they can get involved and help out their organization. As we are rolling right along here this morning on Good Morning Georgetown, Lee Ortiz of Climate Control Pros is our Friday co-host. Lee, I keep wanting to say, for whatever reason, man, I keep wanting to say Thursday. I don't know what's going on.
Thursday?
I keep wanting to say Thursday co-host, and that's Chris Courtney. Everything.
Well, on Mondays, you've got John, don't you?
Got John on Mondays, Joshua on Tuesdays, Ken on Wednesday. Wednesday. You say you got to say Wednesday. Try it, Lee.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. There. Yeah. See, don't that feel good? Wednesday. We got Ken on Wednesday, then we got Chris Courtney on Thursday, and then we got Lee Ortiz on Friday. Everybody gets excited I've never gotten excited about Wednesday. I get excited about Friday. You know, man, I don't know what it's like Wednesday hump day, and I don't get excited about Wednesday. I just don't. I used to have an incredible church service every Wednesday, and I miss that. I used to get really excited about Wednesday because of that church service. I miss
my
that.
son goes to a youth group on Wednesday nights.
I miss a church that I used to go to. Now they do it once a month, but they used to have it every Wednesday. And, man, I would bring friends with me, and it was honestly like I liked that Wednesday service then. I liked that better than Sunday services. I don't know, man. It was just I looked forward to that Wednesday 7 o'clock service. You know, man, I miss that. I really, really miss that.
Yeah.
Kind of get sad thinking about it. I mean,
which church was it?
This is Celebration.
Celebration?
Yeah,
okay.
I love that. And they do it they still have a great Wednesday service. They only do it once a month now, and I miss
that's a large congregation, isn't it?
Yeah, great folks, man. I love the people there and the pastors there, and I just
Joe Champion, isn't it?
Yeah, great guy, man. Great guy.
Okay.
Does a lot for our community.
I've heard about him. I've never been to the church, but other churches talk about him.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, man, like the Wednesday service there was incredible. And they still have a really, really, really good Wednesday service that's once a month. It's like I need that meat. But they do have small groups, and I think that's important for any church. I'm not going to talk about churches all morning, but I'm just saying there's a lot of churches that it's really important to have small groups and be a part of something small, especially when you're a large church. And so I think that's really cool. Well, hey, man, it's 8:47 here on Friday. What do you got going on the rest of the day, Lee? What do you got going on this weekend, man?
Well, we've got a couple service calls we're running today. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be heading out to my brother-in-law's place just north of Land Passes. It's strictly family. We're just going to do your typical redneck country thing and shoot guns and barbecue.
There you go, man. I love it. All right. There you go. Get on down. Joshua Harrison, I always say, get on down there and get the rest of it, huh? So
so we're going to just kind of relax and kick back with Jordan and Tracy and my nieces, and we're just going to stay away from everybody and just have some fun.
Today, oh, man. You know what today is? And buddy, I haven't had one of these in forever. Today is National Pigs in a Blanket Day. Oh, man, I love those things.
Oh.
Dude. It's National Pigs in a Blanket Day. Why is there a restaurant? I have never seen a restaurant that serves pigs in a blanket. Why?
I guess, Monument Cafe doesn't do it, do they?
No, I've never, ever seen any restaurant. And if someone out there knows of one, you let me know right now. I have never seen a restaurant that serves pigs in a blanket. Boy, that's one of my...
Rudy's Barbecue.
They do?
Yes.
I had no idea.
They actually call it pig in a blanket.
Really? Well, there you go. I had no clue.
Yeah, Rudy's does, and they're pretty good.
You know what else today is? Well, here's what. It's National Arbor Day. That's cool. Loving the trees, man. You got to love the trees. My buddy Chris Doleve, he's a tree guy. He's been doing it forever. He's an expert at it, man.
Wow.
Here's a funny one though. Today, are you a cat lover, Lee?
Meow. Yeah, I've got 2 cats.
Oh, dude, I love cats as long as they're somebody else's cats.
They're my kids. Well, one of them adopted my wife.
My neighbor has a cat next door to me, Miss Blanton, and her cat's name is Stella. And I met
that cat.
Yeah, you did. That's right. That's funny,
Yeah.
man. You did meet that cat. And that cat has been here pretty much ever since I moved in here 15 years ago or whenever it was. I guess it was 15 years ago. I think that cat's been here that long. And when I come home at night, sometimes that cat will run up to me, and I'll sit because I got 2 little chairs on the porch, Lee, and that cat will come and sit on my lap, and I just rub her belly, and then she goes back over to Miss Blanton. So she's an outdoor cat most of the time. I love that. I love that cat. Love that cat. So the reason I brought that up today is National Hairball Awareness Day. Who thinks of this stuff, man?
Field.
National Hairball Awareness Day. All right, here we go. Look, this is from nationaldaycalendar.com. On the last Friday in April, National Hairball Awareness Day draws attention to a problem that many cat lovers face. Has there ever been a human that has hairballs? I don't know.
It depends if you have a long beard.
The formation of hairballs is a common feline condition that is brought on by self-grooming and the associated ingestion of hair. Cats pass the hair through their digestive tract and will vomit. Well, they'll pass it. I like how they put that. They will pass the hair through their digestive tract or will vomit the hairball. If they don't eliminate the hairball from their digestive tract one way or the other, hairballs can create an obstruction. That's serious. I mean, it could kill the cat.
Oh my gosh!
So how do you manage hairballs? How do you manage hairballs? Here's a little
conditioner on them.
Here's a little hairball awareness for you, Lee. Number 1, if you're a hairy man, don't lick your arms. I'm just kidding. This is cats we're talking about. Regular grooming helps reduce the amount of hair your cat ingests. Brushing your cat every day also has added benefits of reducing the amount of shed hair around the house and offers your cat some extra attention. Okay? Look for products that help prevent hairballs. Shampoos and wipes may reduce the amount of shedding. Some types of cat foods may help reduce the amount of shedding too. Designed to improve the health of a cat's coat. How do you observe National Hairball Awareness Day?
I don't know. I've got one cat who will sit in your lap, but the other one is a complete goofball. Doesn't even come around people except for my son.
Well, look, Dr. Blake Howley of Hills Pet Nutrition out of Topeka, Kansas, founded National Hairball Awareness Day to provide solutions to cat owners and to help them understand why their cats get hairballs. I'm wondering if Dr. Blake Howley also had some products he's trying to hawk there on that day and said, let's just go ahead and make it National Hairball Awareness Day. Get on down here and get the rest of your hairballs.
Where do they come up with this stuff?
I guess there's a hairball problem in the world, man. That is what today is, National Hairball Awareness Day. Also, this is a really good one, and I think this is something that is a really – we were talking about children earlier. This is National Teach Children to Save Day. Each year in April, again, nationaldaycalendar.com. Each year in April, National Teach Children to Save Day encourages children to develop good saving habits. Man, I've heard that so many times growing up, Lee, and I wish that I would have listened.
Yeah, it makes two of us.
I think everybody has that, like, I wish I could just go back. Bankers across the country volunteer every year to teach children to save. Developing these habits at a young age creates a foundation for a lifetime of saving. Involving our children with a savings plan and money management skills prepare them for a solid future. I think that's so important. Parents, if you're out there today and you got a little one, get them involved in this today. Good morning, Anna Cummins, joining us. Good morning, Anna. Appreciate you and all that you do. Parents should teach children about financial matters so that when they head out into the world, they avoid pitfalls that can be financially devastating. With an early start on saving and an understanding of budgeting their money, children will have solid habits as they head into adulthood. So here's how you do it. Some ideas to get you started, Lee. I think this is really good. Parents, listen to this. I don't care if your kid's a newborn or your kid's 12 years old. Listen to this. Give each child a bank. It helps if the bank is clear so they can see their savings grow. A piggy bank, a clear piggy bank. Give them something to where they can tangibly feel and see. Did you have I had an actual like glass piggy bank when I was growing up. Did you ever have anything like that, Lee?
No, I sure didn't.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't glass, it was plastic. I remember it.
No, I never had that, but I do have a change jar now, which is a 1-gallon Bud Light bottle that I fill up.
There you go. Give your kid a bank, something to put their money in, even if it's just a clear Tupperware. Cut a little hole in it. Give them something to where they can tangibly see their savings grow. Open a savings account. They can monitor their account and watch it grow there too. Show them what things cost. I think that's the biggest thing in our society, Lee, because credit cards make things so easy, and I'm a victim of that. It's just like, oh, I need that, boom, done. Or you don't need it, you just want it. Boom, done. You don't even think about it. Think about the time that it takes to raise that money to put into that item that you just paid for. Look, I'm not Dave Ramsey. Go listen to his show. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Show them what things cost. When they want a new toy, direct them to their savings. Key word. When you see a new toy, parents, go to your savings. Ask them to consider whether the toy is worth the amount of money they want to spend. If they still want to purchase the item, have the child pay. The act of paying with their own money will demonstrate to them the cost of the toy. Oh, that's so important. Demonstrate needs versus wants. This is like, even though this is for like teach children to save day, like this is teach all of us to save day.
Yeah.
Demonstrate need versus want. Explain how our food, clothing, and shelter are necessities. Especially right now. Think about that. However, we can live without going out to eat or buying a new television or the latest phone. Place the needs before the wants, even in your daily shopping. Friends, today, teach your children the value of money and how to save it. Please do that today, and we'll be good to roll. 5 minutes remaining, Lee. What else are we going to talk about? I'm running out of juice here, man.
Running out of juice? It's Friday. You should be pumped up.
Yeah, I should. You know, I said earlier, like I used to be really excited. I do like Fridays, but I really enjoyed Fridays when I was a kid. There was always this really special feeling when I was a kid on Friday. Getting off the bus, and I'm going to go play football with the neighbors and all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, 2 days. You didn't have to worry about going to school, probably.
Man, I was just looking. If I had money, Lee, you know what I'd do here in Georgetown? Give you a get. What do you think I would do if I had money to do this?
Build a new radio station?
Oh, that'd be if I had. Well, yeah, you'd have to buy one. There's one for sale in Austin for $3 million. You can't get the licenses anymore. You basically have to buy an existing station. So yeah, I'd probably buy that AM station. There you go. You just you sidetracked me. No, if I had money, I would open a drive-in movie theater here in Georgetown. You know how cool that would be?
Dude, I remember going to those when I was a kid.
We had 2 of them here, not when I was a kid. When my mom was a kid, there was 2 drive-in theaters. And
there was one up in Gainesville, I think. I think it's still there.
Yeah, there's one there. There's one in Hutto, I believe. They built one in Round Rock or Hutto. I need to get that guy on the show and talk about it. Yeah. For some reason you cut out, Lee. Your volume. Say something. There you go. Now it popped back on. There you go. It kind of popped.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think it automatically adjusts. Hey, Stephen Giorgio joining us this morning. I went to school with Stephen. He always says good morning to me. And she said that his daughter got a kick out of it when I said her daddy's name. So good morning to Emma from your dad. Your dad wanted to say good morning to you, Emma. He just texted me. So good morning, Emma, from your daddy. How cool is that, man? Dad wanting to give a daughter a shout out this morning. So good morning, Emma. That's pretty cool. And then you had your son on. How cool.
Yeah, man. He's actually still here. He's just kind of kicking back at the desk.
Awesome, man. Well, hey.
He did have a question for you, though.
Yeah, what's the question, man?
He wants to know, is this your real voice or is this your radio voice?
This is my real voice. So, you know.
He just thought that it was pretty cool.
That's my real voice, you know, I guess. Now, some people fake it, though. Like, hey, we're on the radio today. And I'm like, you sound like Goofy, man. Talk normal. My brother, I wish my brother would get on the radio. My brother's voice is like 3 octaves lower than mine. Say, hey, what's up, it's Charles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my brother, but he doesn't like doing that kind of stuff, which is cool. I love my brother, man. He is incredibly smart, mechanical. Get my brother anything mechanical, and he can like figure out and tell you why it works and how it works and disassemble it, put it back together. I mean, anything mechanical, he's a rock star at it. I don't know how he does it.
Do you remember several years ago, there was a guy that was homeless, and all of a sudden he had this radio voice, and it changed his life?
Yeah, it's the man with the golden voice.
The man with the golden voice. Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to him.
He backtracked a little bit, and I know exactly you're talking about. Ted Williams is its name.
Yes,
Ted Williams. He did a commercial for Miracle Whip. He did a couple of voiceovers for the Today Show. He backslid a little bit. I actually kept up with him. He backslid a little bit, but he is fully sober now. And see, here's the story about Ted Williams. He was in radio before he went homeless. It's just drugs and alcohol ruined his life. That's why he went homeless. Yeah, he was in radio. Cincinnati, I believe it was.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he backslid a little bit, and then now he's still an announcer, radio personality, and he does voiceover work, and he's doing, from what I understand, he's doing pretty good now, which is awesome, and I'm thankful to hear that.
I remember there was a guy who did nothing but voiceovers. You know, he was the guy that you would listen to every time there was a new movie coming out or anything like that. And this guy would just drive around from studio to studio, and that's all he did. Multi-millionaire. And he would do it all in about maybe an hour's worth of work a day. And that was it.
Yeah, I mean, there's. I was talking to a guy a while back that actually has that's what he does, voiceover stuff. He has a studio and he helps guys. Listen to this. Here's Ted Williams, though, by the way. Listen to this.
Have a great.
Hold on, this is here.
Hey, I'm going to make you work for your dollar. Say something with that great radio voice.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
When you're listening, that's gold, man. Did you hear that?
It's all natural to him.
Yeah, that's Ted Williams, man. Unbelievable. Well, Lee, we got to go, man. It's 9 o'clock. I got to head over and take care of a few things here. Socially distant, but I've got to take care of a few things today. Final thoughts from you, man. I enjoy this every Friday, brother. I appreciate you being a part of this show, man.
I do too, man. Just everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Say hi to John. You're going to go see John, aren't you?
Yeah, I got to chat with him. Socially distant chatting.
Yeah. But other than that, just everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. And give us a shout if you need something. And I'll run that special we talked about earlier through the end of the day and go from there.
Tell us about that special one more time, Lee. Folks need to hear this.
It's the iWave ionizer for your HVAC system that helps kill any type of bacteria or anything in your airstream. Normally $11.99. I'm talking for today only. It's going to be $200 off.
So look, I'm putting this on Facebook. $200 off. Lee, how can they get a hold of you, man?
They can reach me through 512-864-5728.
5728. Why are you gonna wait? Call Lee and get your air clean.
And the reason why I did that, Rob, is because I did see that article on the air conditioning that John sent to both of us about the air conditioning spreading the COVID-19. I go, man, that's in the industry, we've talked about that a lot, about different things that are in the airstreams, and that just kind of solidified it by reading that article this morning.
Yeah, I think that. And then hearing it on USA Radio News, man, on our news feed.
Exactly.
It's like, you got to be kidding me, man. Well, hey, tonight I wanted to give this shout out really quick. I say it on every if you're a business in Georgetown and you're open, let us know. hrngeorgetown.com/open. hrngeorgetown.com/open. Hey, Andrew Rensler over at Rents Brewery is at Brewery. Man, I can't talk, dude. Brewery. He's asking a question, Lee, to you. Can you fix a mini split?
Yes.
Awesome. There's your Andrew. Yes, he can. I put his phone number. Give him a call. Give Lee a call, and he can be there. I wanted to mention tonight, and thank you, Andrew. Good to hear from you, man. I wanted to let folks know that tonight it's our HRN virtual dance party every Friday night. Tonight it is made possible by Santa Phil and also Georgetown Antique Mall. There are two folks that wanted to step up and sponsor the show tonight. Again, made possible by Santa Phil and Georgetown Antique Mall. We appreciate Carolyn. I wanted to make sure that we give her a shout out. So tonight, coming up at 7 o'clock, make sure to join us. Again, it's the HRN virtual dance party. Make sure you tag your videos. Send them to us. Send us your family videos, your videos. I mean, Michael Price, this dude is decking out. He and his wife, they're wearing unicorn outfits, Lee.
I saw that.
Santa Phil is dressing up as Santa Claus and even requested a Christmas song and danced to it and sent us a video. And then he dressed up as a wizard and sent us a video. I love Santa Phil here in Georgetown. He is a great guy. So, look, get on there tonight. Compete with these guys. Let's see what you got. All you got to do is send your video. You hashtag it with hashtag HRN Virtual Dance Party. And, again, that is being made possible by Santa Phil and also Georgetown Antique Mall. So be a part of that tonight from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on HRN. You got to download the app. It's Hip Radio Network. Lee, as always, man, I appreciate you. God bless you, man. I'm looking forward to being back already next Friday. We're going to keep this rolling, brother.
All right, brother. I'll see you then.
Awesome. And Andrew said that he will give you a call. He's got his phone number there, so appreciate that. And that's what we try to do.
Look forward to his call.
That's what we try to do is facilitate business. And please support our sponsors here on this show. And by the way, you can check out our sponsors at hrngeorgetown.com/sponsors. And Lee, appreciate you being here. Thank you for being with us this morning. Friends, I wanted to remind you again, if you need help, hrngeorgetown.com/open. Let us know that you're open. We're having an auction coming up in May to help businesses that may not qualify for grant money or just businesses that need help, honestly. You can donate items to that auction at hrngeorgetown.com/auction. You may be a business that's in need of help. In order to receive the proceeds from that auction, you've got to fill out our form at hrngeorgetown.com/support. Those are ways that you can tangibly get involved and help out our community. We had a couple of new sponsors come on this week. Want to appreciate our friend Eric over at Sati Mind. You'll be able to hear more about him later today as we're rolling out his commercial. Again, Sati Mind, it's Eric joining us. Really appreciate you, and you definitely want to hear what Eric has to offer. An outstanding guy, and he is offering some really incredible services to really help with mindfulness, and so you definitely want to check him out. We're going to roll that out today on HRN. And then also, one of my former workers at Click when I owned that business, someone who ran my store, has started his own pool maintenance and cleaning business. It's Raphael Galloway of Galloway Pool and Spa. This kid understands, I say kid, he's almost 30 now. I knew him when he was a kid. Raphael understands customer service. He ran my shop at Click for a couple of years. He understands that type of sincerity and what it takes to be successful in business. He is now using those skills, and by the way, he's an expert at pool maintenance. You can go from green to clean. If you got an below ground pool, Rafael Galloway is the guy that you want to call. He is a new sponsor here as well. I wanted to give him a shout-out. It's Galloway Pool and Spa. Look him up on Facebook, and, of course, you can visit our sponsor page to find his information as well. Friends, as always, I appreciate the opportunity to bring you the show every morning. We will be back on tonight with the HRN Virtual Dance Party, and then on Saturday, it's American Country Gold. We'll have that show on Saturday, so join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. or noon, and then also on Sunday, Terra Nova Church service, and then at 1 o'clock, and they'll go on at 10:30, and then at 1 o'clock, it is another edition of our great show and great friend, Mr. James Chapman, with Transformation University. So a lot of content starting to develop here at HRN. This is your hometown station, friends. We want to bring you content that's related to Georgetown, promote our business community commercially, get them support, and then also give back. That's what we do. God bless you guys as I end every broadcast, reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, friends. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there today needs you. Good morning, Georgetown, and God bless. We'll see you tonight.